All right, good morning, everybody. Shalom. It's 6:16 a.m. and today is the 26th of June. It's a Tuesday, and we are on our way to a shop. My shop. Words are hard in the morning. So this is Grizzly 4 to Tortoise Actual. Our element is in receipt of the provided material, i.e. cell phone holder for the dash, and I do believe it will work. It may at some point fall off. It may not. We will see. However, many thanks. So, and also, Brother Dave just sent us a bunch of beans in the mail, and those will be getting planted in Oklahoma the end of August. So thank you very much for that. I'm blown away by the real people on the other end of this phone. So thank you very much for that. Now, in regard to the real people on the other end of this iPhone, y'all know I spent my previous weekend, this past weekend, with the APN, Arkansas Preparedness Network. Go back and watch those videos. They are great people. And if you are in Arkansas, I would encourage you to reach out to them through their Facebook page, the Arkansas Preparedness Network, of which I am an official member, seeing as how my state touches their state. But Bruce Filbert at the APN did a video on their Facebook page that was very much so in line with this video here that I've been preparing to shoot since this past Sunday. And by preparing, I mean trying to find the time to do it. And the point of all this is community. A group of like-minded people working together of one accord to reach a common goal. Okay? A team of people. Now, there were 50 plus people at this event, including a number of children. And, it was probably, hypothetically speaking, 24 men, maybe 36 men, 30 men, 20 women, 20 women, and a handful of children. It's a pretty good turnout. So let's talk about community and what that looks like. We've talked a lot about community here before. And if that's something that interests you, you can go back channel here. I have a series of videos from a few months ago about continuity of community. How do you keep the community you have when SHTF arrives? I think that is the key. My worldview is build your community of people now before something ever happens, so that when something does happen, you have a team. You have fallback positions if your position becomes compromised. You have food and equipment interspersed amongst all the different members of the group. You don't have all your eggs in one basket. And so it would not be necessarily the collapse of community, because your community is still intact. It would not be the resurgence of community, because your community never went away in the first place. It would be continuity of, the continuation of your community, right? And groups of people with big hearts live for times like that, right? I was talking to a brother yesterday about another brother, about a couple of things going on in his life, and he said, I wish he had told me. And I said, I don't think it was a slight to you that he hadn't told you. And he said, I'm not offended that he didn't tell me. He said, I just live to pray for people when they're in bad positions like that. And he does. That's his jam, that's his gifting. So people with big hearts just live for an opportunity to combine their mental giftings, their spiritual convictions and intuitions, and their physical skills and preparedness bam, stick it all together. And it's like, this might be the end of the world as we know it. But it allows an opportunity for that community that you've created, that you've built, that you've fostered, that you've encouraged, that you've nurtured, that you've pruned, to blossom and flower and grow and really perform the essential tasks for which it was created in the first place. So there's some things to consider here. Y'all need to be near enough to each other that you can actually reach out and help each other. A half an hour car ride is pretty much a day's walk. So understand that. A half an hour car's ride is about a day's walk. The average person with a light load at a brisk pace can put down about 25 miles a day. If you're booking it, you can do far better than that, but not for sustained periods of time, the average person. And that's assuming that your physicality is where it needs to be. So, I mean, everybody has things they need to work on. So if your physical conditioning is one of them, work on it. And if you have a pre-existing health condition where you're just never going to be that guy who can ruck with a 60-pound loadout all day and put in 25 miles, then we need to find something else for you to do. Maybe what you do is you're in an overwatch position with a long gun with a high power magnification optic and a radio, secured communications, and you're radioing back and forth, overlooking a checkpoint area or providing security or whatever, right? Whatever. But the point is that if you have that many people, it would be ideal that y'all are all within striking distance of one another. You can reach out and touch each other, reach out and help each other when you need to. So, as much as possible, I would encourage you to find like-minded people directly around you and bring them into the fold. And you know, Bruce was talking about, from APN, was talking about how there was 3 guys at the event this weekend that all realized that they all live within 5 miles of one another. They didn't know each other, but now they do, and they know that they have a very common interest in preparedness. So you need people immediately around you who can be of assistance to you, right? And then you need the larger group as a whole. So there's a hierarchy here. There's your initial immediate surroundings, your MAG, your mutual assistance group of people that you could walk to their house within a day, hopefully less. You know, you walk to their house within an hour, or maybe it's a few minutes depending on where you live or whatever, right? And then there's those people that are farther out that you're going to require transportation, or it's going to take a day or two to get to them. And it's not that they're not part of your group, they just represent a different sphere of your group, a different concentric circle of your group. I gotta wet my whistle. So think about how you're going to feed all these people, and camp cook. The more people you have, the more food you're going to eat, right? And I know that sounds like a duh. The more food you have, or the more people you have, the more food you're going to consume. So you need to have food. I would suggest that you have hard recommendations for people to achieve certain levels of food storage by certain times. Now, everybody's budgets are different, right? I know a guy that is a very kind-hearted guy, and he's lucky to have 2 nickels to rub together. So talking to him about food preparedness is not... I can talk to him all I want about it. He has very little monetary ability to do something about it. I know another guy that if he wanted to fill a Connex box full of 5-gallon buckets full of rice and beans, he could snap his fingers and have that process started within an hour. Because he's got that kind of monetary reach. So I think if you if you institute hard and fast benchmarks, it's a good and a bad thing. It can weed people out, by their own doing. They just don't have the money, or by your doing, they don't have the interest, right? But I think it is good to a certain extent to get people that don't know very much about putting up food or preparedness in general, if they want to know, have enough food to bring them on board if you need to. But there is a buy-in factor, and I think that's what a lot of people need to understand, is that people value something that they pay for. It's easier for somebody else to eat your food than it is for them to eat their own food, because their own food represents their time, their calories, their energy. Your food, they didn't have to work for, regardless of the exchange, right? Whatever they're trading you, if their time, their skills, their expertise, right? So anyway, the more people you have, the more food you need to have. So think about that. The more people you have, the more food you have, the more latrines you need. Something else to think about. So have some 5-foot spade shovels. Know how to use them. Or eventually everybody digging cat holes in the woods is going to get old. So that leads to sanitation, which is water, right? Need water. Everybody knows you need water. But have water, have a way to filter water, have a way to treat water, ways to store water, ways to carry water, the whole nine. The more people that you have, the more water you're going to need. And understand that there's various skill sets here. It's not just tactical, and it's not just practical. It's a combination of the two. So, because you can't stay up 24/7, 365 without dying, you're going to need somebody to cover you. You're going to need somebody to watch over you, somebody that you trust implicitly to watch over you and your children while they're sleeping, because you just simply can't do it on your own. And that process, that truth is repeated over and over and over for me throughout my life. You just can't do it on your own. Excuse me. I have been blessed to know great people over and over and over again. And I would do a great disservice to them if I did not acknowledge the fact that the vast majority of things that I've accomplished that are noteworthy to mind-blowing have all revolved around good teams. Very little of it is the individual. It's the individual working together with a group of people to achieve a common goal. So part of that team building is that teams need context. They need to understand each other, and they need to understand what it is that they're being tasked to do, to complete, to accomplish. And then they build a rapport with one another and trust in one another by doing hard things together and accomplishing goals together. That's how you foster camaraderie amongst people, is that you set a goal and you achieve it as a team. To that end, at some point, and this is in its infancy, at some point, we, and by we, I mean a joint operation between Squid and Bear and APN, we're going to set up a type of, it's not really a patrolling course. It's going to be interesting. Basically, we're all going to rally to a position, right? We're going to set up teams, anywhere between 4 and 7 man teams. And we're going to load up, and we're going to do some land nav. And what we're going to load up is going to be our actual loadout. Your rucksack, your inch bag, your bob, your whatever, okay? Your loadout, my loadout. And some food and water equipment and some seeds and some tools. We'll throw all this on our backs with our loadout, with our weapon, whatever. And then we're going to do land nav. We're going to navigate open fields, hedgerows, in the woods, probably skirt some roads. I got to figure all that out. And we'll rotate people in and out from point on back and so forth and so on. Because when you're on point, when you're the guy, anyway, that can be stressful. Very few people can stay in the front for the entirety of the exercise without their head exploding. So there's a lesson there, right? Sometimes you just need to switch out with your buddy and let them take the lead for a while. And if you don't, you got to realize if you don't, you're putting the well-being of the team at jeopardy because of your hubris and your arrogance and your pride that you can do it. I can do it. Well, what if you can't? What if you're not as sharp as you think you are? Let somebody take over for a little while you recover. Okay? So we'll do some land nav. And we're going to make camp. We're going to find a place. We're going to make camp. We're going to get a fire going. We're going to start purifying water. We're going to clean all, make camp. Get food going. Then we're going to hoe a row, and we're going to plant all those seeds that we brought with us. And we're basically going to put together a facsimile of the militant farmer concept. With all the physicality and the most important skills as I see it, and as Squid sees it, and as the APN sees it. And like I said, this is in its infancy, so just stay tuned for this. And there'll be instructing, there will be fellowship, there will be learning, there will be team building, and it'll be a blast. I don't know where and I don't know when yet. So if those are your questions, or how do I sign up, this concept is 16 hours old. So stand by, we will let you know. But the point there is that we intend to build camaraderie through context. And I would encourage you to do the same thing with the people on your team, whoever they may be, right? Because you're gonna need a team, because you can't do it for yourself. So, we'll probably have, we're gonna need a commo guy when we're doing this too, right? So, there's all the things here. The problem with preparedness, the challenge with preparedness is, it's everything. It's everything. You gotta know everything. You gotta know how to, slaughter, skin, butcher, and take from primal cuts to finished cuts a 1,200-pound cow, and the proper wild herb to use to reduce a fever, and how modern plumbing works, and just everything, how to cook and how to clean and how to hunt, and it's everything. And Joel Salatin, who's a good guy, I like him. He's a farmer, and he does a lot of talking for a farmer. And one of the things that he says that I absolutely agree with is, God didn't put all the skills for a successful farmer into one pair of boots. It takes people, lots of different people, because I know things that you don't know. You know things that I don't know. And this guy over here knows stuff that neither of us knew, right? And the women know things that the men don't know. And the children see things that neither of the types of the adults see. And the animals hear things that none of us can hear. And it's the whole thing is one cohesive system of people. So you're gonna need people. You can't do it alone. So I feel like I'm rambling this morning, but you need a cohesive unit of people. You need to find that group of people, and you need to make something happen. And admittedly, I'm in a weird spot right now in Oklahoma because I've moved. And None of my Texas people came with me because they have houses and jobs and kids in school and all the things. And who am I to say, pack up your stuff? We are all going to Oklahoma. It doesn't work that way. If they want to come, they can come. If they don't want to come, I'm not making anybody come. So, but I'm in Oklahoma, and I have a few people in Oklahoma. And the people that I have are excellent. But it's not a big old team of people. So, I'm working on that too, just as much as I can. So, but I just wanted to encourage you guys and just really shine a light all over the fact that the lone wolf thing doesn't work. And that was exemplified this past weekend at the APN extravaganza event, because there were 50 people there, 52 or 53 people there, right? And it was nonstop. It was non-stop. Between the cooking, the teaching, the fellowship, the keeping of the house, the watching of the children, the corralling of the dogs, the, working on the equipment, discussion, debate, all of that. It was non-stop. And I know Bruce felt like he was the mayor of Crazy Town for 10 hours because he was trying to orchestrate this whole thing dynamically in real time. That could be your life every day for a good long while. And without good people around you to help you with the cooking, help you with the cleaning, help you with Overwatch, help you with security, help you with the kids, help you keep the house, help you do the harvesting, help you plant the garden, help you gather water, help you harvest food, help you blah, 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 blah. How in the world are you going to do it all by yourself? And so I know there's some of you out there that are lone wolves and don't want to be. You're looking for your group. First thing I would do is beseech the Father in prayer. Next thing I would do is, if you can't find a group, start one. That's what I did, and it looks like I'll be doing it again. So, and then there's some of you out there that are lone wolves and you want to be. And I would just admonish you that that's all fine and well until you roll your ankle. And then you're dead. And if that's how you want to go out, okay. Not me, brother. I hope this helped you guys. I'm at the shop. I got to get to work. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day.